If you really want something, let it go and attract it. Stoic law of attraction. The things you own end up owning you. Chuck Palahniuk. Have you ever considered that the secret to attracting what you truly desire lies in letting it go first? What if I told you that by releasing control, you could actually draw in what you've been chasing? Welcome to today's video, where we dive deep into the Stoic law of attraction, revealing how detachment can be your greatest tool in manifesting what you want most. This isn't about magic or wishful thinking. It's about aligning your actions and mindset with Stoic principles. When you let go, you free yourself from desperation, and that shift in energy starts attracting what you once thought was out of reach. Stoicism teaches us that the more we hold on, the further we push things away. So, are you ready to embrace the art of letting go and attract everything you've ever wanted? Stay tuned as we uncover powerful insights, and don't miss point number 5. It's a game changer. Before we begin, if this content resonates with you, subscribe and hit the bell to ensure you never miss a life-changing lesson. Let's dive in. 1. Thoughts and emotions. Man is disturbed not by things, but by the views he takes of them. Epictetus. Have you ever thought about how your thoughts and emotions shape the world around you? The Stoic philosophy, combined with the law of attraction, emphasizes one powerful truth. If you really want something, you need to learn the art of letting it go. This might sound counterintuitive at first, but the more we cling to our desires, the more they seem to elude us. Why? Because desperation creates a kind of negative energy that repels what we want, while letting go allows us to align with the natural flow of the universe, drawing in what's meant for us. In today's content, we'll explore how this ancient wisdom can transform your mindset and help you achieve your deepest desires by letting them go. And if you've ever felt like you're stuck, that no matter how hard you try, things don't seem to fall into place, this approach might just be the key you've been missing. First and foremost, we need to examine the relationship between thoughts and emotions. Stoicism teaches us that our internal state directly affects how we experience the external world. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Your thoughts are the seeds from which your emotions grow. If you fill your mind with anxiety and fear, that is exactly what you will attract into your life. The law of attraction works similarly. It's often said that energy flows where attention goes. What this means is that what you focus on, whether good or bad, you will inevitably draw toward yourself. So if you're constantly worrying about what you don't have or what might go wrong, you're not leaving any room for positivity and abundance to enter your life. Instead, focus on what you desire with a sense of calm detachment. Wanting something is natural, but obsessing over it creates emotional resistance that blocks your ability to receive it. Think of your mind as a magnet. You can either attract or repel what you want, based on how you choose to think and feel about it. Next, let's dive deeper into the importance of detachment. When you're too emotionally invested in the outcome, it's easy to become overwhelmed by anxiety and frustration, which leads to poor decision-making. Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is where Stoicism and the law of attraction converge beautifully. The idea of letting go isn't about giving up on your desires. It's about loosening your grip, trusting the process, and focusing on what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions. Detaching yourself from the outcome doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you're allowing things to unfold in their own time. This is especially important for men aged 30 to 65, many of whom are at a point in life where the pressure to achieve certain milestones can be overwhelming. Whether it's career success, financial stability, or meaningful relationships, the harder you chase, the more elusive these goals may seem. Instead of trying to force things to happen, focus on being the best version of yourself. Cultivate patience, resilience, and trust in the natural order of things, and you'll find that what you seek begins to come to you effortlessly. Now let's talk about how this principle applies to modern life. We live in a society that values instant gratification, where the pressure to succeed quickly can be immense. But in reality, true success and fulfillment take time, and learning to let go of immediate results is a crucial skill. As Seneca once said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." This quote emphasizes that our internal resistance often makes our goals seem more challenging than they truly are. Letting go is an act of courage, a sign that you trust yourself and the universe enough to allow things to unfold naturally. For example, if you're working toward a promotion or building a relationship, obsessing over the end result can actually push it further away. By letting go of the need to control every detail, you free up mental space to focus on what really matters, the daily actions and mindset that will lead you to your goal. This is not about passivity, but about creating a healthier, more balanced approach to achieving your dreams. Another key aspect to understand is that the process of letting go doesn't mean you're giving up. Rather, it allows you to focus on what you can control, your mindset, your actions, and your attitude, while releasing the emotional burden of needing things to happen on your timeline. As you shift your focus inward, you'll notice that external events start to align with your desires more naturally. This is the essence of the law of attraction when viewed through a Stoic lens. The more you embody the traits of calmness, confidence, and detachment, the more the universe mirrors those qualities back to you. The Stoics believed in focusing only on what you can control and accepting everything else as part of a larger plan. "Fate leads the willing and drags along the reluctant," said Seneca, reminding us that we must cooperate with life's flow rather than resist it. In practical terms, this means that by letting go of excessive attachment to outcomes, we actually give ourselves a better chance of achieving them. The Stoic law of attraction offers a powerful, practical framework for navigating life's challenges. By mastering your thoughts and emotions, detaching from outcomes, and focusing on what you can control, you'll find that you can attract what you desire without the stress and frustration that often comes with obsessive pursuit. Life is a delicate balance between effort and surrender, between action and patience. And as you adopt these Stoic principles, you'll begin to see that letting go is not an act of defeat, but a powerful strategy for success. He who is not a slave to his desires is free, as Epictetus once said. And freedom, both internal and external, is what allows us to live a truly fulfilled life. So, if you really want something, let it go and watch as it finds its way to you. 2. Focusing on your desires. Have you ever noticed how the more you obsess over something, the more elusive it becomes? It's like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips away. This paradox is at the heart of the Stoic law of attraction, which teaches us that sometimes the best way to get what we want is by letting go. We live in a world that tells us to hustle, to grind, to never stop chasing our dreams. But what if the real power lies in learning when to release our desires, trusting that the universe will bring them to us when the time is right? Let me share with you a modern story that illustrates this perfectly. There's a man named Tom who spent years building his career. He worked tirelessly, consumed with the desire for success. But no matter how hard he worked, the promotions never came. The recognition always seemed just out of reach. It wasn't until Tom decided to stop obsessing over the outcome that things began to change. He shifted his focus inward, began practicing mindfulness, and adopted Stoic principles, focusing on his own actions rather than fixating on external validation. And wouldn't you know it? The moment Tom let go, opportunities started coming to him, promotions, partnerships, and success beyond what he had originally imagined. This story of Tom mirrors what many of us experience in life. We hold on so tightly to what we want that we end up pushing it away. But why does this happen? The Stoics believe that excessive attachment to outcomes leads to suffering because it creates a sense of desperation and neediness. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." And isn't that true? When we place all our happiness in something external, like a job promotion, a relationship, or financial success, we lose control over our inner peace. The key to attracting what we desire is to focus on what we can control, our actions, our thoughts, and our reactions, and let go of the rest. By doing so, we remove the desperation and create a space for what we want to naturally flow into our lives. But how do we do this in practical terms? It's all about shifting your focus. Instead of constantly thinking about the end result, start paying attention to the journey. Think about the things you can control right now. Are you putting in the work? Are you growing and learning? Are you staying open to new opportunities? These are the things that truly matter. The Stoics were masters of this mindset, reminding us again and again that what's within our power is what will ultimately shape our destiny. Epictetus famously said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." So in your own life, ask yourself, are you focusing too much on the outcome? Are you letting the fear of not getting what you want cloud your judgment and cause unnecessary stress? If so, it might be time to let go. Focusing too much on our desires can also lead to tunnel vision, blinding us to the other opportunities around us. When we're fixated on one specific outcome, we might miss out on other paths that could lead to even greater success. It's like driving with your eyes glued to a single destination without noticing all the other interesting routes along the way. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and often the things we think we want are not what we truly need. By practicing detachment, we allow ourselves to remain open to all possibilities, trusting that the universe has a plan for us that might be even better than what we had in mind. Have you ever been in a situation where, in hindsight, not getting what you wanted turned out to be the best thing that could have happened to you? This is the power of letting go. When you release your grip on the things you desire, you not only free yourself from stress, but also open the door to unexpected blessings. The lesson here is clear. Focus on your actions, not the outcomes. Take control of the things within your power, like your mindset, your work ethic, and your attitude, and let go of the rest. It's not about giving up on your dreams, but rather approaching them from a place of calm confidence, knowing that you're doing everything you can without letting the pressure of the outcome weigh you down. As Seneca wisely said, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. So focus on the preparation and trust that when the right opportunity comes, you'll be ready to seize it. By now, you might be wondering, how can I apply this to my life? The answer lies in taking a step back. Look at your biggest desires, whether it's success in your career, personal relationships, or financial abundance, and ask yourself, am I holding on too tightly? Am I so fixated on the end goal that I'm missing out on the present moment? If the answer is yes, then it's time to practice letting go. Start by focusing on what you can control today. What actions can you take right now to move closer to your goal without obsessing over the outcome? This might mean developing a new skill, nurturing a relationship, or simply taking time for self-care. Whatever it is, do it with intention and trust that the results will follow in due time. The Stoic law of attraction teaches us that the more we chase after something, the more it eludes us. By focusing on our actions and letting go of the need to control every outcome, we create the space for what we desire to come to us naturally. It's about trusting the process, practicing patience, and maintaining a sense of calm in the face of uncertainty. So the next time you find yourself caught in a cycle of stress and obsession, remember this simple truth. If you really want something, let it go. Take control of what you can and let the rest unfold as it should. This is not only a lesson in achieving your goals, but also a powerful practice for living a happier, more peaceful life. 3. Belief and faith. When it comes to attracting what you desire, belief and faith play crucial roles in the process. You see, What you believe deeply shapes your reality, whether you're aware of it or not. This is where the Stoic law of attraction comes into play. If you don't have faith in yourself or in the process of achieving your desires, then no matter how hard you try, those desires will always seem out of reach. It's like planting a seed but never watering it, hoping that one day it will grow. The truth is, without belief, you lack the foundation to manifest anything meaningful in your life. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This is a reminder that what you believe at your core is what will shape your experiences. So let me ask you, do you genuinely believe that you're capable of achieving your goals? Or is there a part of you that doubts it? It's not uncommon to have moments of doubt. Doubt about whether you're on the right path. Doubt about whether you're deserving of success. Doubt about whether the universe is really working in your favor. But here's the catch. Those very doubts can sabotage your progress. Think about it. If you don't believe something is possible, then why would you take the necessary steps to make it happen? Henry Ford once said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." This means that belief isn't just a passive feeling, it's an active force that drives your actions. When you believe in something, you naturally move towards it. You start taking steps that align with that belief. But when doubt takes over, it's like trying to move forward with the brakes on. The key here is understanding that faith isn't about having all the answers or being certain of the outcome. It's about trusting the process, even when things aren't going your way. Faith is essential because it allows you to keep going, even when the results aren't immediately visible. Picture this. You're on a journey, but the road ahead is foggy. You can't see exactly where it leads, but you trust that if you keep walking, you'll eventually get there. That's what faith does. It keeps you moving forward, even when you can't see the finish line. In many ways, this is what Stoicism teaches us as well. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In other words, the external world may present challenges, but what truly defines your path is how you choose to respond. When you face obstacles, do you lose faith and give up? Or do you dig deeper and find the belief that you will overcome whatever stands in your way? You might be wondering, how can you strengthen your belief and faith, especially when things aren't going according to plan? Start by taking a moment to reflect on past experiences. Have there been times in your life when you didn't know how things would work out, but they did? Perhaps you faced adversity, but came out stronger on the other side. These moments are proof that, even when the future seemed uncertain, your perseverance paid off. Use these memories as fuel to keep your faith alive. Remember, belief is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. So, even if you're not where you want to be right now, trust that you're on the right path and that things are unfolding exactly as they should. Now, let's relate this to modern life. In today's world, we're bombarded with messages that tell us to hustle, grind, and never stop. But how often do we hear about the importance of belief and faith in that process? You can work as hard as you want, but without belief in yourself and faith in the process, you'll burn out. Faith is what allows you to take a step back, breathe, and trust that things will fall into place. It's the difference between working out of fear and working out of purpose. When you have faith, you're not constantly checking the clock or panicking about when your success will come. Instead, you're focused on becoming the person you need to be to achieve your goals. So, how can you cultivate more belief and faith in your daily life? Start by examining the language you use with yourself. Are you constantly telling yourself that something is too hard or that you're not ready? If so, it's time to change that narrative. Begin affirming your capabilities and trust that you're exactly where you need to be at this moment. Belief is built through repetition. Tell yourself that you are capable enough, deserving enough, and strong enough, and soon, that belief will take root in your mind. Also, surround yourself with people who believe in you. Their faith in you can act as a mirror, reflecting back the belief you need to build in yourself. To sum it all up, belief and faith are at the core of the Stoic law of attraction. If you don't believe that you can achieve your desires, then no amount of effort will bring them to you. But when you cultivate a deep belief in yourself and have faith in the process, the universe begins to align in your favor. Remember, faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. As Martin Luther King Jr. wisely said, "Keep believing, keep trusting, and you'll attract what you truly desire." So ask yourself, do you have faith in the process? Do you believe in your own potential? If not, now is the time to start. Trust in the journey, and the results will follow. 4. Gratitude and appreciation. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. Cicero. When it comes to mastering the Stoic law of attraction, there's one crucial element that often gets overlooked: gratitude. We live in a world where we're constantly encouraged to want more, achieve more, and never be satisfied with what we have. But if you really want to attract the things you desire, you have to first appreciate what you already have. Think about it. How can you expect to receive more from the universe when you haven't taken the time to acknowledge and give thanks for what's already been given to you? Gratitude shifts your mindset from a place of lack to a place of abundance, and that shift in perspective opens the door for more good things to come into your life. The Stoics understood this principle well. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, wrote in his Meditations, "Do not indulge in dreams of things you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave for them if they were not yours." In other words, instead of focusing on what's missing in your life, take a moment to appreciate what's already present. This practice of gratitude helps you live in the moment, frees you from the constant anxiety of wanting more, and aligns you with the flow of life. It's this very alignment that allows you to attract more of what you truly desire. Let's break this down further. When you focus on what you don't have, you're constantly sending a message of lack to the universe. This creates a sense of neediness and desperation, which repels the very things you want to attract. However, when you focus on what you already have and express genuine appreciation for it, you're telling the universe that you're content, and this contentment creates a positive energy that attracts more abundance into your life. It's like being grateful for the seeds you've planted, knowing that they will grow in time, rather than obsessing over the fruit that hasn't yet appeared. Think of gratitude as a form of emotional wealth. When you practice it, you're training your mind to recognize the good in your life, and that recognition expands your capacity to receive more. Modern science supports this idea. Research has shown that people who regularly practice gratitude are not only happier, but also more successful in achieving their goals. When you feel abundant, you're more likely to make decisions and take actions that lead to further abundance. Gratitude, in this sense, is a mindset that creates the conditions for more good things to enter your life. So ask yourself, are you focusing on what you lack, or are you cultivating a mindset of appreciation for what you already have? To give you a modern example, let's think about relationships. How often do we take the people in our lives for granted? Maybe you're in a long-term relationship and over time you've stopped appreciating the little things your partner does for you. Or perhaps you're focused on finding the perfect partner, and in the process, you overlook the valuable friendships and connections you already have. By practicing gratitude, you shift your focus from what's missing to what's already there, nurturing those relationships and attracting even more meaningful connections into your life. This applies to all areas, whether it's your career, finances, or personal growth. Gratitude brings more of what you appreciate into focus and allows you to attract more of it. The Stoic law of attraction teaches us that gratitude isn't just about feeling thankful for the big things. It's about appreciating the small everyday moments. The cup of coffee you enjoy in the morning, the roof over your head, the simple fact that you're alive and breathing. By cultivating gratitude for these small things, you build a foundation of contentment that allows you to attract more of what you truly desire. As Seneca said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future. When you embrace gratitude, you're able to find joy in the here and now, which makes the journey toward your goals more fulfilling and less stressful. But here's the question: how do we cultivate gratitude in a world that constantly pushes us to want more? It starts with mindfulness, being fully aware of the present moment and acknowledging the good that's already in your life. This doesn't mean you stop striving for more, but it does mean you stop basing your happiness solely on achieving future outcomes. Take a few moments every day to reflect on the things you're grateful for. Write them down if that helps. Gratitude journals, for instance, are a powerful way to reinforce this practice. By making gratitude a daily habit, you train your mind to focus on abundance rather than scarcity, and that's when you'll start seeing real changes in your life. In practical terms, whenever you find yourself caught in a cycle of wanting more, whether it's more money, more success, or more recognition, pause and take stock of what you already have. Ask yourself, what am I grateful for right now? What blessings do I have in my life that I may have overlooked? This simple act of reflection can shift your energy and put you back in a state of appreciation. And when you're in a state of appreciation, the universe responds by giving you more to be grateful for. The Stoic law of attraction operates on this very principle. What you focus on expands. So, focus on gratitude, and you'll attract more reasons to be grateful. Gratitude and appreciation are the keys to unlocking the power of the Stoic law of attraction. By cultivating a mindset of gratitude, you create a foundation of emotional abundance that allows you to attract more of what you desire into your life. As you go about your day, remember to take stock of the blessings you already have and express genuine appreciation for them. Whether it's the people in your life, the opportunities you've been given, or the simple joys of everyday living, there's always something to be thankful for. And as you continue to practice gratitude, you'll find that the universe has a way of rewarding those who appreciate what they already have, with even more of what they seek. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. As Epictetus wisely observed, let this wisdom guide you as you embrace the power of gratitude in your own life. Thank you for being part of today's video. Before we move forward, I'd like to take a moment to express my appreciation for your presence in our community. Your support means a lot, and I invite you to share your thoughts or personal experiences in the comments. If you're unsure of what to say, simply comment, "I am a newbie" if you've just joined us, or "I am Stoic" if you've been with us for a while. Your engagement not only shows that you're here, but it also drives us to keep creating meaningful content. Now, let's continue this journey together, shall we? 5. Inspired action. Taking action is essential when it comes to attracting what you truly desire, but not just any action. What you need is inspired action. You've probably heard the phrase, "Action speaks louder than words," but have you ever stopped to consider that not all actions carry the same energy? Inspired action comes from a place of alignment, where your thoughts, emotions, and intentions are all focused on your goal. It's the type of action that feels right, that flows naturally and often leads to quicker results. This concept, rooted in both Stoic philosophy and the law of attraction, teaches us that when we act from a place of clarity and calm, rather than desperation or fear, we're more likely to succeed. As Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This means aligning your thoughts and intentions with the actions you take. Are the things you're doing truly in line with what you want to achieve? Let's break it down in a way that's easy to understand. When you take action from a place of stress or urgency, you're actually pushing your desires further away. You might be working harder, but without clarity or purpose, your efforts often lead to frustration and burnout. Compare that to the feeling you get when you're truly inspired, when you know deep down that you're moving in the right direction. Those actions feel different, don't they? They energize you instead of draining you. This is because inspired action is fueled by passion and confidence, not by the fear of missing out or failing. When you act out of inspiration, it's as though the universe is working with you, helping to open doors that would otherwise remain closed. So ask yourself, are your actions today inspired by your higher purpose or driven by the pressure to perform? Now, let's connect this to modern life. Picture someone working in a job they don't enjoy, hustling every day, chasing promotions, and working overtime, all in the hope of achieving success. They might think they're doing everything right, but their actions come from a place of frustration and dissatisfaction. Over time, that negativity builds up and creates resistance, blocking them from the very success they're trying to achieve. On the other hand, imagine someone who is deeply passionate about their work. They wake up every day excited to contribute, and their actions are naturally aligned with their goals. They take inspired action because they're working from a place of purpose, and as a result, success flows to them with less effort. This doesn't mean that the second person isn't working hard. They absolutely are. The difference is that their hard work comes from a place of joy and clarity, rather than stress and obligation. So how can you apply this idea of inspired action in your own life? Start by checking in with yourself. Before taking any major steps, ask, does this action feel right? Does it align with my long-term goals and values, or am I doing it out of fear or pressure? Sometimes it's about taking a step back and allowing yourself the space to realign with what truly matters to you. For example, let's say you're trying to improve your health. If you force yourself into a strict exercise routine out of guilt or pressure, you might stick with it for a while, but it'll be hard to maintain. However, if you approach your fitness goals from a place of inspiration, because you want to feel stronger, healthier, and more energized, then the actions you take will feel more natural and enjoyable. You'll be more likely to stick with the routine, and as a result, you'll see better outcomes. Inspired action also requires trust. Trust in yourself and in the process. You need to believe that the steps you're taking, no matter how small, are leading you toward your goal. This is where Stoicism comes into play. The Stoics emphasize the importance of focusing on what's within your control and letting go of the rest. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Taking inspired action means focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. Trust that the universe or life itself will take care of the rest. This doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for things to happen, but rather acting with purpose and allowing the results to unfold in their own time. A great modern-day example of inspired action can be seen in entrepreneurs who follow their passion. Take Steve Jobs, for instance. He didn't build Apple out of a desperate need for money or success. He was inspired by his vision to change the way people interact with technology. His actions were driven by that vision, and the success followed naturally. Jobs famously said, "The only way to do great work is to love what you do." This perfectly captures the essence of inspired action. When you love what you're doing, your actions feel meaningful, and success becomes a byproduct of that alignment. So, in your own life, think about the actions you're taking. Are they inspired by a deeper purpose, or are you just going through the motions because you think you have to? Here's a question to reflect on. What's one area of your life where you feel stuck, where your actions don't seem to be getting you closer to your goals? Now ask yourself if the actions you're taking are truly inspired, or if they're coming from a place of frustration or fear. The answer might surprise you. If you realize that your actions aren't inspired, it's time to hit pause and realign. Find that spark of inspiration before moving forward again. This doesn't mean you should stop taking action altogether, but rather that you should focus on taking the right action, the kind that feels aligned with your purpose and goals. The Stoic law of attraction teaches us that inspired action is the bridge between desire and achievement. It's not about working harder, but about working with intention, clarity, and trust. As you move forward, focus on aligning your actions with your higher purpose, and you'll find that success comes more naturally. As Epictetus reminds us, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. In other words, Don't worry about how others perceive your actions. Focus on what feels right to you. Trust that by taking inspired action, you're moving in the right direction and eventually the results will speak for themselves. 6. Eliminating self-sabotage. Have you ever noticed that sometimes the biggest obstacle standing between you and your goals isn't an external factor but yourself? That's the essence of self-sabotage. Those moments when you undermine your own progress, often without even realizing it. You might be wondering, why would anyone get in their own way? The answer lies in fear, doubt, and limiting beliefs. We often sabotage ourselves when we don't fully believe we deserve what we're striving for, or when we fear the changes that success might bring. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you set a goal only to find yourself procrastinating, making excuses, or getting distracted by things that have nothing to do with what you truly want? This is self-sabotage at its finest. As Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." To free yourself from the cycle of self-sabotage, you must first summon the courage to confront these limiting behaviors head-on. Let's dive deeper into why we sabotage ourselves. One major reason is that we become too attached to outcomes. We fear failure so much that we either freeze and do nothing or take actions that actually push success further away. Stoicism teaches us that we can't control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we react. When we focus too much on controlling the end result, we create pressure and anxiety, which leads to self-sabotaging actions. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the first key to eliminating self-sabotage. Let go of the need to control every outcome and trust in your own ability to handle whatever happens. Another reason for self-sabotage is fear of success. It sounds strange, doesn't it? Why would anyone fear achieving their dreams? But the truth is, success brings change, and change is uncomfortable. We fear that once we succeed, we'll have to maintain that success, or that it will alter our relationships, or that we won't be able to handle the pressure. So instead of embracing success, we unconsciously push it away. It's a strange paradox, wanting something but being afraid of getting it. Have you ever caught yourself in this kind of thinking? Maybe you've been on the verge of achieving something great, but instead of pushing through, you pulled back, either by procrastinating or finding reasons why it wasn't the right time. This is a classic example of self-sabotage, and to overcome it, you must become aware of these thoughts and challenge them directly. Let's relate this to modern life. Say you're working toward a promotion at work. You've put in the hours, gained the skills, and everyone knows you're the best candidate for the job. But when the time comes to apply, you hesitate. You start telling yourself, "What if I can't handle the responsibilities?" Or, "What if my colleagues start treating me differently?" So, instead of going all in, you half-heartedly submit your application, or worse, you don't apply at all. That hesitation, driven by fear and doubt, is self-sabotage. To move past it, you have to reframe the way you view success. Rather than seeing it as something to fear, see it as a natural progression of your growth. Ask yourself, what's really stopping me from going after what I want? Is it the fear of the unknown, or the belief that you're not worthy of success? Once you identify the root of your self-sabotage, you can start taking steps to eliminate it. One of the most effective ways to stop sabotaging yourself is to focus on small, actionable steps rather than overwhelming yourself with the big picture. When you break down your goals into manageable tasks, you reduce the anxiety that often leads to self-sabotage. Seneca's wisdom, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity," speaks to this approach. By consistently preparing yourself one small step at a time, you reduce the chances of self-sabotage creeping in. You start to build momentum, and with each small win, your confidence grows. And as your confidence grows, the fear of failure or success begins to diminish. Another critical aspect of eliminating self-sabotage is to be mindful of the stories you tell yourself. Too often, we allow limiting beliefs to dictate our actions. We tell ourselves, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never make it," and these thoughts become self-fulfilling prophecies. The Stoics were well aware of the power of thoughts in shaping reality. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is a reminder that the narratives we create in our minds can either propel us forward or hold us back. To stop sabotaging yourself, you need to rewrite the story. Instead of focusing on past failures or fears of the future, remind yourself of your strengths and your ability to adapt and grow. Now let's make this personal. Think about a goal you've been working toward recently. Have you noticed any patterns of self-sabotage? Maybe you've been avoiding the next step, or perhaps you've found yourself focusing on distractions that keep you from progressing. It's important to acknowledge these behaviors without judgment. Self-sabotage is a normal part of the human experience, and we all do it at some point. The key is to recognize it, understand where it's coming from, and take steps to change it. One powerful question to ask yourself is, what am I afraid of losing by succeeding? Often, we sabotage ourselves because we fear that success will change things in ways we're not prepared for. But by bringing these fears to light, you take away their power and give yourself permission to move forward. 7. Vibrations and energy. Have you ever felt that certain people, places, or even ideas carry a certain vibe or energy? It's not just a figure of speech. Everything in the universe, including our thoughts and emotions, operates at different frequencies. The Stoic law of attraction ties into this concept deeply, emphasizing that the energy you emit is exactly what you attract back into your life. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This speaks to the fact that your inner world, your thoughts, emotions, and energy, shapes your outer reality. When your thoughts are aligned with positivity, gratitude, and purpose, you vibrate at a higher frequency, attracting similar energies into your life. But when you're stuck in negativity, fear, or doubt, you lower your vibration and attract more of the same. The question is, what kind of energy are you putting out into the world, and how is that impacting what you attract? Energy is a powerful, invisible force that not only affects how you feel, but also determines the kinds of experiences and people you bring into your life. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt the tension even though no one said a word? Or maybe you've met someone who seemed to brighten the whole space just by being there. These are examples of how energy works in real life. We're all constantly broadcasting our energy, and whether we realize it or not, it's shaping the opportunities and challenges we encounter. So if you're feeling stuck or unfulfilled, one of the first things to examine is the vibration of the energy you're projecting. Are you focusing on lack, fear, and worry? Or are you radiating confidence, abundance, and trust in the process? Seneca once said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." In a way, your energy is part of that preparation. By keeping your vibration high, you prepare yourself to recognize and attract the opportunities you seek. In today's modern world, it's easy to fall into a negative cycle of energy without even realizing it. From the pressures of work to the challenges of relationships, life can sometimes feel like an uphill battle, and that struggle affects your energetic state. For men aged 30 to 65, the balancing act between career, family, and personal growth can be especially draining. But here's the key. You have the power to shift your energy. The Stoics were all about focusing on what you can control, and your thoughts and energy are things you absolutely have control over. You might not be able to change every circumstance, but you can always change how you respond to it. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Your reactions, your thoughts and emotions, are direct contributors to your overall vibration. When you consciously choose to respond to life with patience, resilience, and a positive outlook, you're elevating your energy and aligning yourself with what you want to attract. Let's take a practical example to illustrate this. Suppose you're trying to advance in your career, but you keep getting overlooked for promotions. It's easy to fall into the trap of negative thinking, telling yourself that it's never going to happen, or that someone else is always more qualified. These thoughts create a low vibrational frequency, one rooted in scarcity and fear. As a result, you unknowingly push opportunities further away. But when you shift your mindset and raise your vibration by focusing on gratitude for the skills and experience you've gained, trusting that the right opportunity is on its way, and taking inspired action, you create a new energy field. This higher frequency aligns with success and abundance, attracting better opportunities and people who can help you get where you want to go. The concept of vibrations and energy doesn't just apply to your career, it's relevant in relationships, finances, and personal well-being too. If you're constantly worried about money, for instance, that worry lowers your vibration and makes it harder to attract financial abundance. But when you focus on what you do have and the opportunities that exist around you, even if they're small, you raise your vibration and open the door for more financial growth. In relationships, the energy you put out also determines what you get back. If you're radiating insecurity or mistrust, you're likely to attract similar vibes from others. But if you lead with confidence, kindness, and a genuine desire to connect, you attract people who mirror that energy back to you. As the saying goes, your vibe attracts your tribe. The people you surround yourself with are a reflection of the energy you emit. So, how can you begin to raise your vibrations and consciously attract what you want in life? First, start by becoming aware of your thoughts and emotions. Are you dwelling on what's wrong, or are you focusing on what's going right? It's important to recognize that your thoughts are not passive. They are active forces that shape your reality. Begin by practicing gratitude daily. When you actively acknowledge the good things in your life, no matter how small, you automatically raise your vibration. Another way to elevate your energy is through mindful action. Take care of your physical and emotional well-being by engaging in activities that bring you joy and purpose. Whether it's exercising, spending time with loved ones, or pursuing a passion. When you do things that make you feel good, you raise your frequency, and the world responds in kind. It's also crucial to surround yourself with positive energy. The people you spend time with, the media you consume, and even the environments you frequent all impact your vibration. Make a conscious effort to spend time with those who uplift and inspire you, and limit your exposure to negativity, whether it's in the form of toxic relationships, news, or entertainment. Marcus Aurelius put it beautifully when he said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By protecting your mental and emotional space, you maintain a high vibrational state that allows you to attract more of what you desire. Remember that vibrations and energy are at the heart of the Stoic law of attraction. The energy you put out into the world determines the experiences and opportunities you attract. By becoming aware of your thoughts and emotions, practicing gratitude, and surrounding yourself with positive influences, you can raise your vibration and align yourself with the life you want to create. As you go about your day, ask yourself, what kind of energy am I putting out into the world right now? If the answer isn't what you'd like it to be, remember that you have the power to shift it. In the words of Epictetus, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. By focusing on the energy you emit, you'll find that what you truly desire starts flowing to you more effortlessly than you ever imagined. If you've made it this far, you're someone who truly understands the power of letting go to attract what you desire. Drop a comment saying, "I trust the process," to show your commitment to this journey of alignment and growth. Stay tuned. Your transformation is just beginning. 8. Resistance. When it comes to manifesting what you truly desire, resistance is often the invisible force that holds you back. Resistance is that inner tension, the doubt, fear, and uncertainty that keeps you from fully embracing the opportunities life presents. It's the voice in your head that tells you, "This is too hard," or "What if I fail?" We all experience resistance in one form or another, but what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck is how they respond to it. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that the very thing you're resisting may be the path you need to take to grow and achieve your goals. So, how do you identify and overcome resistance? And more importantly, how do you turn it into a tool for personal growth? Resistance can take many forms. It might show up as procrastination, self-doubt, or even as external obstacles that seem to arise just as you're making progress. But here's the key. Resistance isn't something that happens to you. It's something that happens in you. It's an internal battle that often stems from fear of failure, fear of success, or even fear of change. When you set out to achieve something big, resistance is your mind's way of protecting you from discomfort. It's a survival mechanism that tries to keep you in your comfort zone. But as Seneca wisely pointed out, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Resistance, when faced head-on, can actually be a catalyst for growth. So the next time you feel yourself pulling back from something you truly want, ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? In today's fast-paced world, resistance often shows up when we're trying to make significant changes in our lives, whether it's starting a new career, embarking on a fitness journey, or even committing to personal development. Let's take a modern example. Imagine someone who wants to switch careers in their 40s. They've been working in the same industry for years, but now they feel unfulfilled and want to pursue a passion project. However, every time they sit down to work on this new endeavor, they're flooded with thoughts like, I'm too old to start over, or, what if this doesn't work out? That's resistance at play. It's the fear of the unknown, of stepping into unfamiliar territory. But here's the thing. Growth doesn't happen without discomfort. As Epictetus said, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. To overcome resistance, you have to be willing to embrace uncertainty and push through the fear that's holding you back. So, how can you begin to reduce resistance in your own life? One effective method is to break down your goals into smaller, more manageable steps. Resistance often feels overwhelming because you're looking at the big picture all at once, and that can be paralyzing. But when you focus on the next small step you need to take, the path becomes clearer and less intimidating. For example, if your goal is to write a book, the idea of writing hundreds of pages might feel impossible. But if you set a goal to write just 500 words a day, the resistance starts to fade because the task feels more achievable. As you take these small steps consistently, you build momentum, and with momentum, resistance loses its grip. Another way to deal with resistance is to reframe your mindset. Instead of seeing resistance as something negative, view it as a sign that you're on the right path. The Stoics believed that adversity is a necessary part of growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In other words, while you can't always control the challenges life throws at you, you can control how you respond to them. If you approach resistance with the mindset that it's a necessary part of your journey, it becomes less of an obstacle and more of an opportunity to develop resilience and strength. Each time you push through resistance, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. Let's go back to the idea of someone wanting to change careers. Maybe the first few weeks are tough, filled with doubt and uncertainty. But by sticking with it, by showing up every day despite the resistance, they start to gain confidence. They learn new skills, meet new people, and begin to see progress. That's the power of persistence. It's not about eliminating resistance entirely. It's about learning to move forward despite it. Over time, what once felt like a massive roadblock becomes a stepping stone toward your goals. In personal relationships, resistance can also show up when we're trying to connect with others on a deeper level. Maybe you've been hurt in the past and now you resist opening up to new people. The fear of vulnerability creates walls, keeping you from meaningful connections. But just like in other areas of life, facing that resistance is the only way to grow. By allowing yourself to be vulnerable, you open the door to richer, more fulfilling relationships. As Aristotle said, "He who has overcome his fears will truly be free." Overcoming the resistance to vulnerability can lead to greater emotional freedom and stronger bonds with others. So, what can you do right now to start overcoming resistance in your own life? First, acknowledge that it's there. Resistance thrives in secrecy. It grows when we ignore it or pretend it doesn't exist. By bringing it into the light, you take away some of its power. Next, break your goals down into smaller steps and tackle them one by one. And finally, change your mindset. See resistance not as something to avoid, but as something to embrace. It's a sign that you're pushing your limits and moving closer to the person you want to become. The Stoic law of attraction teaches us that resistance is a natural part of the process of achieving our goals. It's not something to be feared or avoided, but something to be faced and overcome. By recognizing resistance for what it is, an internal barrier rooted in fear, you can start to dismantle it piece by piece. As you do, you'll find that the things you once thought were impossible are now within reach. So, the next time you feel resistance creeping in, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. What stands in the way becomes the way. The obstacles you face are not there to stop you. They're there to guide you. Use them as opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. And watch as the things you desire begin to flow into your life with greater ease. 9. Time and patience. Have you ever felt frustrated because you're working so hard towards something, yet the results aren't coming as fast as you want them to? This is where time and patience come into play. If there's one thing the Stoics teach us, it's that we cannot rush the natural flow of life. Everything unfolds in its own time, said Marcus Aurelius, and that wisdom holds true in every area of life, whether you're working toward a career goal, improving a relationship, or striving for personal growth. The Stoic law of attraction teaches that what you desire will come to you when you're truly ready for it, not a moment before. But how do you navigate that tricky space between wanting something and having the patience to wait for it? Let's talk about how time and patience are not only essential, but powerful tools in your journey to manifesting your desires. Time is one of the few things in life that we cannot control. No matter how much we plan, how hard we work, or how much we want something, time moves at its own pace. Seneca once said, "Time heals what reason cannot." The idea here is that sometimes we need to trust that time will take care of what our actions cannot immediately resolve. The desire for instant gratification can often sabotage our long-term success. In today's world, we are constantly pushed to want things now: quick results, instant feedback, fast success. But real, meaningful change takes time. Think about a seed that's planted. You can water it, give it sunlight, and care for it every day, but no amount of effort will make it sprout faster than nature intends. The same principle applies to your goals. You need to do your part, take the necessary actions, and then give it time. When we rush or force things, we often end up making mistakes or getting in our own way. Have you ever thought that maybe what you desire is on its way, but your impatience is creating unnecessary obstacles? Patience is not about waiting passively. It's about taking consistent action while trusting that the results will come at the right time. Epictetus famously said, "No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen." This quote perfectly captures the essence of patience. You can't expect to reap the rewards of your efforts immediately. Everything in life has a process, a natural rhythm, and that includes the manifestation of your goals. Patience means trusting that process while still taking action each day. It means having faith that what you are working toward is possible, even if the evidence isn't immediately visible. Let's connect this idea to a modern context. Take the example of someone trying to build a business. In the early stages, progress is often slow. It can feel like no matter how much effort you put in, the results just aren't showing up. You start questioning yourself, am I doing this right? Or, will this ever pay off? But here's the thing. Businesses, like all meaningful endeavors, require time to grow. It's easy to compare yourself to others who seem to have made it overnight. But in reality, their success likely took years of hard work that you didn't see. The people who succeed are those who stick with it, who continue to show up day after day, even when the rewards aren't immediate. So the next time you feel impatient or frustrated that things aren't happening as quickly as you'd like, ask yourself, are you giving your efforts enough time to bear fruit, or are you sabotaging your progress by rushing the process? Patience also teaches us to let go of the outcome. This may sound counterintuitive, but by focusing less on when something will happen and more on enjoying the process, we allow things to flow more naturally. The Stoics believed that while we cannot control the future, we can control how we live in the present. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think, wrote Marcus Aurelius. This quote reminds us that life is fleeting, and if we spend all our time focused on the future, we miss the beauty and growth that happens in the present moment. By practicing patience, you learn to appreciate the journey rather than fixating on the destination. Let's consider another scenario: relationships. In today's fast-paced world, people often want instant results even in their relationships. Whether it's finding a partner or building a deeper connection with someone, the expectation is that things should happen quickly. But meaningful relationships, like all valuable things, take time to develop. If you rush it, you risk forcing something that isn't ready to grow. By being patient, you allow trust, understanding, and love to deepen over time. This applies not only to romantic relationships but to friendships, family connections, and even professional relationships. Patience allows you to see things clearly, without the distortion that comes from rushing or forcing connections. But let's bring it back to you. Where in your life do you feel most impatient? Is it in your career, your personal development, or maybe in a relationship? Take a moment to think about the areas where you're pushing for results and ask yourself, am I giving this enough time? Sometimes the best thing you can do is take a step back, focus on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and mindset, and let time do the rest. As the saying goes, good things come to those who wait, but the Stoics would add, good things come to those who wait wisely. Waiting wisely means being patient, but also persistent. It means trusting the process while continuing to put in the effort, without letting frustration or impatience derail your progress. The Stoic law of attraction emphasizes that time and patience are crucial components in attracting what you truly desire. Without patience, we tend to make rash decisions, give up too soon, or miss the lessons that come from the process itself. Patience isn't about sitting idly by and hoping for the best. It's about actively working toward your goals while trusting that time will bring everything to fruition when the moment is right. As you move forward, remember the words of Epictetus. Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. Trust that what you're working toward will manifest in due time, and in the meantime, focus on what you can control: your attitude, your actions, and your mindset. That's how you align with the flow of life and let the universe bring what's meant for you. So, are you willing to practice patience and allow time to work in your favor? Or will you continue to rush and push, missing the beauty of the process along the way? The choice is yours. 10. Alignment with the universe. When we talk about manifesting desires through the Stoic law of attraction, we must understand the importance of aligning ourselves with the universe. But what does that really mean? Alignment isn't just about thinking positive thoughts or setting clear goals. It's about syncing your intentions, actions, and mindset with the natural flow of life. It's about recognizing that the universe has its own rhythm, and the more you resist it, the harder it becomes to manifest what you want. As Marcus Aurelius once said, accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. This quote underscores the idea that acceptance and alignment with life's flow are key to achieving our desires. When you're aligned, you're not fighting against reality. You're working with it. The universe becomes a partner in your journey, not an obstacle. So what does alignment really look like in practice? First, it requires letting go of the illusion of control. We often think we can control every aspect of our lives, but that's simply not true. The Stoics were very clear on this point. There are things you can control, like your thoughts, actions, and emotions, and things you can't, like external events or how others react. Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." This means focusing your energy on what you can influence and letting go of what you can't. When you accept this truth, you begin to align with the flow of the universe. Instead of constantly pushing, forcing, or worrying about outcomes, you start to trust that things will unfold as they're meant to, as long as you're taking inspired action. But alignment is not about passivity. It's about taking the right kind of action. Think of it like rowing a boat. If you're aligned with the current, your effort feels almost effortless. You glide along the water with ease. But if you're rowing against the current, no matter how hard you paddle, you'll exhaust yourself and make little progress. The same is true in life. When you're aligned with your values, your purpose, and the natural flow of events, things seem to fall into place more easily. But when you resist, when you act out of fear, impatience, or desperation, you create friction that slows down your progress. So the question is, are you rowing with the current of your life? Or are you exhausting yourself by trying to control every outcome? Let's apply this concept to modern life. Take someone in their 30s or 40s who feels stuck in their career. They're working long hours, pushing hard for a promotion, but nothing seems to be moving. They're frustrated, thinking that if they just work harder, they'll eventually break through. But what if the problem isn't effort? What if the issue is misalignment? Maybe they're not truly passionate about the work they're doing, or maybe they're chasing a role that doesn't match their strengths. In situations like this, more effort won't solve the problem. Instead, they need to pause, reflect, and realign with what really matters to them. This doesn't mean giving up on ambition. It means directing that ambition in a way that's aligned with who they are and where they want to go. When you're in alignment, the right opportunities often show up, and you find yourself making progress with less resistance. Alignment also means being in tune with your emotions. Too often we ignore our feelings, especially when they're uncomfortable. But your emotions are like a compass, guiding you toward what's right for you and warning you when you're off course. If you're constantly feeling anxious, stressed, or overwhelmed, it's a sign that you're out of alignment. Maybe you're chasing goals that aren't truly yours, or maybe you're living in a way that contradicts your core values. On the other hand, when you're aligned with your purpose and the flow of life, you feel a sense of peace, even in challenging situations. This doesn't mean life becomes easy, but it does mean you stop creating unnecessary struggle. Stoicism teaches us to accept life as it is, not as we wish it to be. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." This is the essence of alignment. Understanding that life is always in flux, and that our thoughts, attitudes, and actions shape our experience within that ever-changing landscape. Instead of resisting change, we need to embrace it. When you align with the universe, you're not trying to force life to fit your expectations. Instead, you're trusting that life will bring you the experiences you need to grow, evolve, and ultimately achieve what's best for you. Trusting the universe means having faith in timing, even when things aren't happening as quickly as you'd like. Another important aspect of showing your value is how you handle challenges. Life and relationships will always come with difficulties. How you respond to those moments says a lot about your self-esteem. Are you someone who crumbles under pressure, or someone who stays strong and composed? Stoicism teaches us the importance of emotional resilience. When you remain calm in the face of adversity, when you don't let external circumstances shake your sense of self-worth, people admire that strength. It shows that you are not easily swayed by the ups and downs of life and that you have a deep inner confidence that doesn't rely on outside validation. This is especially important in relationships. If he sees that you are emotionally stable, that you can handle challenges with grace, he will admire and respect you more. Finally, to truly show your value and self-esteem, you must learn to let go of the need to control everything. This might sound counterintuitive, but it's a crucial lesson. When you're constantly trying to manage how someone else feels about you, you end up losing sight of yourself. The Stoics believed in focusing only on what you can control: your actions, your thoughts, and your reactions. You can't control how someone else will respond to you, but you can control how you present yourself. By showing your value through your actions, by maintaining your self-respect and dignity, you leave a lasting impression. He will think about you, not because you tried to make him, but because you naturally command that kind of respect. The most important lesson here is that self-esteem and value come from within. When you truly believe in yourself, when you respect your own boundaries, pursue your passions, and remain emotionally grounded, you create an aura of confidence that others can't help but admire. Showing your value isn't about doing more for others, it's about doing more for yourself. It's about recognizing your worth and letting that shine through in everything you do. So, ask yourself, are you living in a way that reflects your true value? What steps can you take today to show more self-respect and raise your self-esteem? When you start living from a place of genuine self-worth, you won't need to chase admiration. It will come naturally. And that's when he will truly miss you, think about you, and want you in his life. As we wrap up today's video, remember this. If you truly want something, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to let go and trust that the universe will bring it to you when the time is right. It's about aligning your thoughts and actions with your desires, while also having the patience to let things unfold naturally. I encourage you to take these Stoic principles and apply them to your daily life, whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal growth. By doing so, you'll find more peace, happiness, and success. If this message resonated with you, leave a comment below saying, "I attract what I am." I'd love to hear how you plan to use these ideas in your own life. Don't forget to subscribe to Stoic in Your Life and hit the notification bell so you never miss another lesson. Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's continue growing together. See you in the next video.